Welcome to episode 73 of the State of the Market for Law Firm Sales in 11 Minutes. My name is Jeremy Pook, and I lead Senior Attorney Match. In today's episode, we'll focus on the rising importance of key employee lawyers and staff in law firm sales. So let's jump right into it. So we continue to see the rising importance of key employee lawyers and staff in the sales of small business law firms, primarily to growing law firms, because those growing purchasing law firms, what they're looking for when they are purchasing a senior attorney led firm, that is a firm led by one or more rainmaker attorneys, they've run their practice typically for 30 plus years. They're looking to sell their practice. A purchasing growing firm wants to buy the practice. And why is it that that growing law firm wants to purchase a senior attorney led firm? Well, it's because that senior attorney led firm typically offers the following three resources to boost the growth of the purchasing firm. First and foremost is new clients, that instant client growth that comes from the book of business. Secondly, and where we're absolutely seeing rising importance in law firm sales, is an experienced workforce, key employee lawyers and support staff, and then the digital content. In today's what we call 3.0 digital era for the legal industry, growing purchasing firms are taking, utilizing, benefiting from the subject matter knowledge of a senior attorney-led firm's lawyers and converting that into digital content to generate new clients as those firms are converting themselves to becoming digital rainmaker law firms. So now let's really focus on why it is that the rising importance of lawyers at key employee lawyers at senior attorney-led firms, why it is that their importance is rising in terms of the sales of law firms. So in terms of those upgrades, there's really four upgrades that a senior attorney-led firm presents to a purchasing firm. Those upgrades, just go over them pretty quickly, and then we'll focus on the key employee lawyer part of that. Those four upgrades are the book of business, introducing new clients to the purchasing firm, the introduction of experienced lawyers and non-lawyer staff, the upgrade of subject matter knowledge in practice areas. The purchasing firm wants to increase the depth in particular practice areas, and that's typically what the senior attorney-led firm can present, and an upgrade to the digital value. When it comes to those four upgrades, the key employee lawyers and staff really add value to three of those four. It's the rainmaker attorney that can bring in the book of business. It is the key employee lawyers and staff that are presenting the ability to continue to represent the senior attorney's book of business clients, as well as represent the clients of the growing law firm. They're the ones, that is key employee lawyers in particular, that are bringing over that subject matter knowledge that they're going to continue to be able to provide to the clients of the senior attorney selling firm, as well as the clients of the growing law firm for years to come. And it's also the key employee lawyers in particular that are going to upgrade the digital value of the purchasing firm in terms of bringing over their bios, which will be added to the website, bringing over their curriculum, their digital curriculum in terms of LinkedIn, their Facebook accounts, their ability to produce podcasts, to be able to film videos based upon the subject matter knowledge that they have, and of course, very importantly, the 5-star Google reviews that they can present to the firms that they join. And now let's just take a step back for a moment, because when it comes to when senior attorneys are considering selling their law firms, they really have three options as they're considering selling their firms. There's the preferred option of selling to a growing law firm, the potential option of selling internally to an internal successor, a key employee lawyer, and the risky option of just staying in the status quo. So often when we meet with new clients, those new clients are asking us, wow, we would really love to be able to sell our practice to our internal successors, those lawyers that have practiced here for X number of years. they deserve it. They know the practice areas, they know the clients. This is really a turnkey opportunity for those internal would-be successors. Eventually, what we find is that the sellers recognize that their internal would-be successors, they really don't want to purchase their boss's practice, and they can't afford to. And let's just introduce here a different mindset on that realization. Rather than thinking that your internal successors, your key employee lawyers, that they're the ones that want to purchase your practice, instead, really, what we recommend is for selling attorneys to think of their key employee lawyers really as assets of your business that a purchasing firm absolutely needs and wants. And what we're showing here is that when it comes to purchasing law firms, they are purchasing a senior attorney-led firm because of the synergy value that a senior attorney selling law firm presents. Those synergy values consist of the clients that the purchasing growing firm can continue to represent. The purchasing firm needs the workforce of the selling firm to continue to represent the clients and represent their clients as well. They want the cumulative expertise that the firm can present and the marketing value. But if key employee lawyers do not continue with a senior attorney-led firm for one reason or another, and just to give a couple of reasons, right? As senior attorneys are becoming older in their practices, right? We all know when their birthdays are at some point. We know that, okay, the boss just turned 65, the boss just turned 72. We know that the lease is coming to an end, two years from now. At some point, we call it a Random Tuesday event. Key employee lawyers and key staff people could and do leave the office on a Random Tuesday for one of those reasons, okay, or just because, and we see this as well in the marketplace, that your key employee lawyers and support staff, they really want a reliable, safe, and predictable job. And when their job is no longer reliable, predictable, and safe, they will leave. In the context of selling your law firm, and as we're thinking about your key employee lawyers and key staff people as assets of the firm, if they prematurely leave your practice, you're not offering that same level of synergy value, primarily because of two reasons. First is that key employee lawyers, they could leave with clients of the firm. If that happens, the firm has become less valuable in terms of the book of business being less valuable. Secondly, is if key employee lawyers and key paralegals, let's say, and even legal assistants too, not to knock legal assistants, they're very important. If they leave, then a growing firm is going to say, how do we service the clients of that selling lawyer? So it's important to be thinking of your key employee lawyers and staff as assets of your practice because they have that rising importance of what growing law firms, purchasing firms want and need from your practice. So now let's look at going back to the growing law firms from the standpoint of who wins when senior attorneys sell their law firms to growing firms. The winners are the senior attorneys themselves because they're able to monetize the practice. And now let's look at the three additional winners because they all impact the importance and highlight really the importance of key employee lawyers in particular. So that second winner are the key employee lawyers and support staff. They're able to maintain their reliable, predictable, and safe jobs. The clients are the third winners in sales of law firms because the clients want to know that they're going to have consistent ongoing representation. Well, the key employees are necessary to the purchasing firm to continue to represent the clients of that of what's now going to be the purchasing firm as the trust is transferred from senior attorney selling firm to the lawyers and law firm of that purchasing firm. And the fourth winner in law firm sales is the growing law firm itself. They're gaining new clients, they're gaining that digital value, and very importantly here, they want and need the combined workforce, your talented lawyer and non-lawyer staff. So for today's recap, we are absolutely seeing in the marketplace the rising importance of key employee lawyers and staff in law firm sales. And the reasons why are first and foremost when growing purchasing firms are purchasing senior attorney led firms, they're purchasing those firms for three reasons. They need and want the book of business of a selling law firm. They also importantly need and want the talented, experienced lawyers and support staff to continue to represent those clients and represent the clients of the growing purchasing firm. And then lastly, they want and need the content, the subject matter knowledge content that senior attorney-led firms have developed over the course often of decades to convert that to digital value and digital content to be able to market to clients online in today's 3.0 digital era for the legal industry. Next, from the standpoint of four upgrades that senior attorney led firms present to growing purchasing firms, really three of these four upgrades all focus on and depend upon key employee lawyers. And those upgrades are upgrading the book of business by taking on the book of business of a selling attorney, by adding the key employee lawyers and staff to the workforce of the purchasing law firm. Next is the upgrade of that subject matter knowledge, which is coming over particularly with key employee lawyers and staff that are going to continue with the growing law firm, and the digital value in particular that the key employee lawyers are bringing over in terms of their bios, their digital value that they present to purchasing law firms. And then finally, there are the four winners that result from the sales of senior attorney-led firms to growing law firms. And those four winners are the senior attorneys themselves, the key employee lawyers, because they're able to continue their reliable, predictable, and safe jobs. And when they're doing that at growing purchasing law firms, the additional value and the importance that they bring to that purchasing firm is that they're able to continue the relationships of the clients with the purchasing firm as the successor to the senior attorney-led firm. And the growing law firms, they are winners when they are purchasing senior attorney-led firms because they are taking on those very important key employee lawyers and staff. They're able to continue to represent the clients as well as bring in and add additional digital value to the purchasing law firms. So in summary, when purchasing growing law firms are purchasing a senior attorney-led firm, the book of business, of course, is of great value. What we are absolutely seeing in the marketplace is a rising importance of key employee lawyers and support staff that the growing purchasing firms need to continue representing the clients of the senior attorney-led firm seller, as well as the clients of the purchasing growing law firm. And that is the state of the market for law firm sales today in a bit more than 11 minutes.